Good evening everyone. In this video we are going to see how to create and manage Google Forms. We can access Google Forms in two ways. One is after you open your Gmail, on the top right we have the Google Apps. Click on the Google Apps and go to Drive. Once the Drive opens, we can click on New, go to More and click on Google Forms. So this is the first way to open a Google form. If this procedure is too long, we can just type forms.google.com in the browser and press enter. This opens the Google form for us. So these are the two ways in which we can open a Google form. Now click a blank template. So this opens the same form as how we opened here. Now let us see how to create a Google form. Let us consider that we are creating a registration form for some event. So I want the heading to be registration form. If you want to type any description, you can type here. So kindly fill the form carefully. So I've typed some description. So let us start adding questions to the form. So by default, the first question is created here. So I click on this, I type the first question. Now I want to ask the name, the email ID and the mobile number of the person who is registering. So let me first type the question as name. So once you type name, if you see at the right hand side, this has automatically changed into a short answer question. So now let us make this field compulsory. So I enable this required icon here. Now to add the next question, come here and click on the plus icon to add a next question. So click on the plus, the next question gets added. Now I want to get the email ID of the participant. So if you see here, by default it is a multiple choice question. Now I'm going to get the email ID. So once you type the email ID, if you see here, it is again automatically changed into a short answer question. So this feature is available in Google. Based on the question we type, it automatically detects what type of question and changes this feature according to that. So let us make this field also compulsory. So let me add the third question. I want to get the mobile number. So this again, it becomes a short answer. I want this to be mandatory, so I enable this required field. Right? So these are the three details that we have got from a user. Now coming to the second icon here, let us see how to import a question from another Google form. It is not required to type the same detail again and again. If in case we have created a Google form already, we can import the questions from a previously created Google form into the existing Google form. To do that, click on this import icon. So I click on this import. This shows all the forms that have been previously created by me. So I'll choose some form. For example, I choose this feedback form. So these are the various questions that are present in my feedback form. So let me choose one. So I want to get the institution name. So let me choose the institution name and I will import the question here. Right? So if you see, the question from some other Google form has been imported into our current Google form. So these are the details I'm going to collect: the name, email ID, mobile number and institution name. Now let us explore the other features available in the Google form. The third one is to add a title and description. For example, we already have a title here. If I want to add any additional title, I can click on Add Title. This adds a title next to the registration form. So for example, I enter my college name. And if you want, you can add any image or any description here. So I've added an example description. The next option available here is to add an image. So if you want to add an image in the Google form, that is also possible. So I'll come back here After this, I'm going to add a question. I want to add an image itself as the question. So when you keep here, we can see an icon of an image here. So click on this. So these are the various ways through which an image can be uploaded into the Google form. I'm going to upload an image which is already present in my system. So I click on browse and let us search for images. So let me search for any valid image to be uploaded in this form. Right, so let me upload this image for now. So if you see, the image has been uploaded in the question. For example, let us ask, what does this image represent? So if you see here, it is present as a multi-choice question, which means I need to provide the choices. So this has been given a multiple choice, and let us add the options. This is the image of a Wi-Fi, the image of a cloud server, and we'll give other, where users can manually enter their own answers. So this is how we add images in our Google form. This image is irrelevant to this form. You can add any image that you want. So that is how we add an image into our Google form. The next option is to add a video. For example, in my examination, I want to add a video and ask questions from that. We can add a video, and based on the video, various questions can be asked. That is this particular feature. The next one is add a different section into the registration form. So if you see here, we have created these many questions. Now let me make this mandatory. Now I'm going to add a different section. So I click on this. If you see here, we have come to section 2, and the top part would be mentioned now as section 1. So under section 2, for example, let me get the feedback of the participants for this FTP. I start adding a new question. Let me add few questions here. I'm going to ask, rate the effectiveness of the FTP. So there are various ways in which the questions can be made. We can make it a multiple choice where only one choice can be chosen, or one option can be chosen by the participant. Checkbox where multiple answers can be chosen by the participants. Drop down, the options appear as drop down from where we can choose the options. If you want the participant to upload any file, we can use file upload. Linear scale is if I want to give a rating between one value to another value, we can use linear scale. Multiple choice grid, it creates a row and column format where the user can choose various options. And checkbox grid, it is again a creation of row and column format where the user can choose more than one option in each row. So we will explore all this when we create quiz using Google Forms. So if you see here, when I type rate the effectiveness, this has been automatically detected as a linear scale, and it is a scale between 1 to 5. For example, 1 is, let it be least effective. So least effective, and let 5 be, it is most effective, and that's all. So if you see here, a linear scale type question has been made. Now let us try typing a drop down type question. So how did you come to know about this FTP? How did you come to know about this FTP? Let me choose it to be a drop down type. Let me have two options. The first one is WhatsApp. The second one is Telegram. Let me make this mandatory. Let me make this to a mandatory one. Now let us ask the participants to upload the file. To do that, we can ask upload your video feedback. For this, the participants have to upload any video created by them. So let me ask them to upload a file. I click on continue. And if you see here, various options are available, whether you want to allow only specific file types. No, I don't want to enable that option because different participants might upload their videos in different formats. So I'm disabling this option. I'm allowing only one file upload of a size maximum of 10 MB. I'll disable this because I'll have it as an optional one. So if you see here, it asks for the user to upload a file if they are willing. Now let us try to include some other type of a question. I'll choose multiple choice grid. We'll just mention it as feedback. In row 1, I'm going to mention the criteria. So let it be communication, clarity, content. So these are the various categories for which I want to get the feedback, and we can range it from excellent, good, and average. So in the rows, I mentioned the various criterias. In the columns, we mention the rating of the particular criterias. Right? Now you can see that for communication, they can choose between excellent, good, and average. For clarity, they can choose any of the options, and for content, they can choose any of the options. But for the participant can choose only excellent or good or average. All the three cannot be chosen at the same time. If you want to enable multiple choosing of the options, we go for this checkbox grid. Fine. So I think I've covered most of the part of this. Now let us see how to preview this form and how to make this form public to everyone. So we will explore these options on the top now. The first one is to customize the theme. So this is to change colors or add images in your form. We can use this. For example, I want it to be in orange color. I want the background to be this one. And I want some image to appear as the header. So I give go here under header. I give choose image. So already there are many images that are available by Google. If you want, you can choose one among the following, or you can upload your own image from your system. Let me for now choose any existing image. So let me choose this and I give insert. So you can see the image has been inserted as well as the theme color has been automatically adjusted by Google. So these are the various add-ons that we have in Google, where based on the image we insert either as a header or we upload our own image, the theme of the Google form gets adjusted automatically so that it is pleasing for the users to see. So that is all about the theme, and you can change the font of the text. You can change it in various fonts. For professional things, having a basic is the best. The next one is preview. So always before publishing your forms, it is better to preview how the form appears to people who are going to respond it. So now let's click on preview. So this is how your form is going to appear to the participants or to the users who are going to fill this particular form. So once you fill these fields, you can click on next and go to answer your feedback. Right, so this is how the form appears to the user. Let me close this for now. And this option is the settings. So let's see what are the various settings available. There are three tabs here: general, presentation, and quizzes. Let's see general and presentation now, and quiz will be covered in the next video. Under general, it asks whether you want to collect the email address. That is not required because we already get the email address from the users in the Google form itself. So I'm not enabling that option. And this limit to one response. Whether you want the users to respond only once, or you can enable the users to fill the form more than once. So I want them to fill the form only once. So I give limit to one response. And whether the person can edit after submission. If in case they make any mistake, whether you're going to enable them to edit the form or that is going to be the final. No, I'm enabling this option because let them edit, that's not a big deal. And see summary, chart, and text responses. This I'm not enabling because it will allow them to see what summary or what all the Google form collected and a summary of the Google form responses. So this I'm not enabling. And maximum size of all files uploaded, we restrict it to 1 GB. It is not going to exceed more than that. Coming to the next tab, presentation, show progress bar. So if you have 10 questions, The progress bar will show how many questions you have attended out of 10, like 1 out of 10, 2 on 10, third question on 10, fourth question on 10. So this is optional. It is our wish to enable this shuffle question order. So if you give exams using Google Forms, this is preferable because the students find it difficult to copy. The question number 1 for one student will not appear the same for another student when you enable this shuffle question order. But for collecting registration forms, this is not preferable, so I'm not enabling this. And confirmation message. So once a person has responded, what do you want to display after the participant submits the form? So I'll give this to be thanks for the response, right? And this I'm not dealing now. Let us see this in the next video, and I can save. So we have saved the settings, and let's see how to send this form. But before that, let me tell one more thing also. If you want this heading to appear here, just click on this. This automatically changes to whatever heading we have mentioned here. So this option enables the users to either continue with the form in the same page, or they can go to section 2 as a new page, right? So that is the main feature of this section. Now let us see how to send this form. So let me click on send. If you want to send only to few specific users or 1 or 2 users, we can enter the mail ID to whom we want to send and just click on send. This is used when you have very limited number of participants or we know who the participants are. Now when we don't know whom the participants are, like if you are getting a registration for an event, we are going to send a link in common to WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, an email, etc. We go to this link. Let us give on shorten URL. So this is the URL of this particular form. We can copy it and we can paste it so that the Google form appears. Right? I'll close this. Now if you want to add one more collaborator or one more colleague who can work along with you in editing this form, go to the 3 dots here and click on add collaborators. So you can add your friends whom you want. For example, I'm adding my official mail ID here. And I'm going to allow the person to edit the form side by side. So I click on editing, and if we send the form, it will enable the person of this mail ID also to edit this form along with you. That is the purpose of adding a collaborator. So that's all about Google Form. So we have copied the URL and pasted it here. Let's click on enter and see. So if you see now, the registration form has appeared here. So once you fill all the details in this and click on next, it goes to the particular second page. Thank you.